Did you know Jesus only made one way into heaven? So you get into heaven because you know that one way? What is that one way? Well, let's get this show started. Welcome to the Puppet Show.
Today, we're talking about the one way to be saved.
Oh, which way is that?
The one and only way.
No way.
Yes, way! And it's going to be a great show!
And the way we're going to do this show today is we're going to start with Bible speeding. And then we'll head over to the kitchen, go cooking with Cassie. And then after that, we'll go to the cardboard theater. And then we'll finish things up with Let's Get Crafting.
There is only one way to do this show, and we're doing it!
Oh, you two.
To Bible speeding. It's time for Bible speeding. And we're going to look at Noah and the Ark from Genesis 6 through 9. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! The Bible says that the people on the earth were wicked and evil. But there was one man who did what was right, and that was Noah. God told Noah to build a huge ark because he was going to send a flood to destroy the entire earth. It's because the people were so bad that God had to send a worldwide flood as a judgment on the world. But God wanted to save the people, so he had Noah build an ark. The ark was the one way to be saved. Noah would take his family and 2 of each of the different kinds of animals onto the ark. And anyone who entered the ark would be saved from the flood. Noah did everything that God commanded him to do. He built a huge ark. It wasn't like a little baby ark. No, it was really big. Big enough for everything they needed. But there was only one ark. When the ark was finished, God told Noah to go inside the ark with his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives too, and all the animals. Then after 7 days, the flood came. The water started bursting out of the ground, and the rain started falling from the sky. In fact, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. That sounds wet. The water kept rising, and everyone didn't go into the ark was like, ah! And they died. I guess they should have thought twice about not going into the ark. There was no one left in the whole world except Noah and his family. But God didn't forget about Noah. After a long time, the water started to go down, and the ark landed on some mountains. The flood was finally over. The flood lasted about a year, but now God told Noah to go out of the ark with his family and all the animals, and to fill the whole earth. And God made a promise that he would never destroy the whole earth with a flood again, and the rainbow is a reminder of that promise. Noah and his family were saved because they were inside the ark, which was God's one way to be saved from the flood. They went through that one door into the ark. But everyone else who didn't choose God's way was destroyed in the flood. And that's the end.
In Noah's day, God destroyed the earth by sending a flood. But because sin is still in the world, one day God will again send a judgment on the entire earth, this time with fire. And just like the ark was the one way for people to be saved from the flood, there is only one way to be saved from the destruction that's coming. What is the one way to be saved in the future judgment? Can we do good things to be saved? We're going to go to Cooking with Cassie to find out. But first, if you like this video, be sure to give us a like. Thanks! Now to Cooking with Cassie.
Today, I'm going to be making some amazing chocolate cake!
Chocolate cake? Where's chocolate cake? I want chocolate cake. Chocolate cake.
No, Bobby, I don't have it yet. I have to make it first.
Oh, okay. Well, I can check it for you when it's finished to make sure it tastes good. Just be sure to call me.
Fine, but you have to let me make it first.
Just tell me when it's done.
First, you put in the cake mix. Then the chocolate pudding. This is going to be so good. Sour cream? That's weird. I guess if that's what's on the recipe, I better put it in. Come on! Get out of there! And then oil. Next is 4 eggs. That's a lot of eggs for one cake. Then 1/2 cup of milk. Time to stir. Now for the best part of all, the chocolate chips. Oh, look, a spider. Get away from my cake, you spider.
Did you say it was ready?
No, it's that bug. It's bugging me.
Get back. back, you foul fiend! That cake's mine!
Hey, stand back, Bobby! Take that! Ha! Ha! And that! Get away from my cake, you bug!
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Great chocolate sadness.
Well, I guess it's okay. It's just one tiny bug. And besides, there are lots of good things in there.
I'm gonna go greet the lost bug. Here, chocolate cake.
It'll be fine. Now, where was I? Oh, right. Chocolate chips. No one will even notice the spider. With all of these chocolate chips, it's gonna be great. It's just gonna be like a hairy chocolate chip with legs. There! Now I just need to put it in the oven. There was only one bug in there. The rest was good. Oh, I think it's done. There, all finished. Hey, Bobby, the cake is done.
Huh? Did you cook that bug cake? Ew, gross.
It's fine, Bobby. I put lots of chocolate chips in it. It's fine.
I don't care how many chocolate chips you put in. It got one big hairy spider in there.
But there was only one, and it was a little one.
It's ruined. Ruined.
No, it can't be that bad.
Oh, yes it is. Then you eat the bug cake.
Well, I don't really like,
What, bugs? Everything is ruined. Oh, chocolate sweetness ruined by a bug's chocolate demise. Oh.
Oh, well, fine. I'll just sit here with this cake. Oh, I guess I should just throw it away. One bug, and it ruined everything.
Just one little bug can ruin a whole cake. It doesn't matter how many good things you add in, that bug will still be there. It's kind of like that in your life, too. Just one sin, one bad thing you do, separates you from God. You can't get into heaven with even one sin. It ruins everything. We need to be saved, but good works can't save us and get us into heaven because it doesn't matter how many good works or good things you do, that sin will still be there. So, what can you do? Doing good things can't save you, so what is the one way to be saved? God did provide us one way to be saved. Let's head over to the cardboard theater and find out what it is. Once, there were 3 friends named Phil, Doug, and Fred. These 3 were normal people, but their lives were very different. Phil would often do lots of good things. He went to church every Sunday, rain or shine. He never missed a Sunday. He also read the Bible. He knew where verses were and could find them quickly, and he could even say some from memory. Phil also did lots of things to help other people. He gave lots of money to church and to people who were in need. He thought he was a very good person. But there was something Phil didn't do. He didn't accept God's one way to be saved. Instead, he tried to be good and do things on his own. He thought that if he was good enough, then he would be able to get into heaven. Doug was very different from Phil. He didn't do lots of good things like Phil did. Sometimes he would lie to get out of trouble, or so he didn't have to work. When no one was looking, he would steal things that he wanted from stores or other people. He also liked to hang around people that did some really bad things. He didn't really think much about God, but he figured everyone would go to heaven. Like Phil, Doug didn't accept God's one way to be saved. Lastly, there was Fred. At first, Fred was like Doug. He would sometimes lie or steal. But then, one day, Fred realized that because he was a sinner, he couldn't be with God in heaven. He couldn't be good enough because even one bad thing separated him from God. But God's Son Jesus, who never sinned, died to pay the punishment for everyone's sin. And now, anyone can believe that Jesus has paid for their sins and they will be forgiven. Jesus is the only way to be saved. Fred believed Jesus and accepted Jesus as the one way to be saved. Now, Fred started doing more good things, not because they would save him, but because he knew that pleased God. And God says in heaven he will reward those who work for him. And when Fred did die, because he believed in Jesus as the one way to be saved, he went to heaven. Then, in heaven, he was rewarded for the good things he did. But when Doug died, things were different. Doug said everyone will go to heaven, but that's not true because God says there's only one way, and that way is Jesus. But remember, Doug didn't accept the one way to be saved. He wasn't allowed into heaven, but was sent to hell. Hell is the place for people who reject God. Bobby, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh, I was just trying to figure out how to work this lighter.
Bobby, no.
Aww.
What about Phil? Phil thought he would get into heaven because of the good things he did. But there's only one way into heaven, and that way is not good works. With even one sin, you can't get into heaven, and even many good works can't cover up your sin. Only Jesus can take away sin. When Phil died, he was not allowed into heaven because he didn't accept God's one way to be saved. Phil was believing in himself to get into heaven, but it's only by belief in Jesus we can be saved. Phil rejected God's one way to be saved, so he was sent to hell too. God had given each of them a choice, but only Fred had chosen to accept God's way to be saved. There is only one way to be saved. It is only through Jesus, by believing that he died and rose again to take the punishment for your sin. It is a choice you have to make. You can believe and accept Jesus as your only way to be saved, or you can go your own way. But there's only one way to heaven. The Bible tells us in Acts 4:12, "And there is salvation in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given among men by which we must be saved." If you have never accepted that one way to be saved, you need Jesus. He is the one way to be saved. You can watch one of our God's Gift videos to learn more on doing that. No other way will work, and there is no other fake God that can save us from the coming judgment. Only Jesus. Next, we're going to make a cool reminder that Jesus is the only way to be saved.
Jesus is the only way to be saved. It's like he's the only door you can go through to be saved. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this really fun craft to help you remember that. I don't know about you, but I have a really hard time remembering things sometimes. There was this one time I forgot.
Riley, it's time for you to start making the craft.
Oh, right! I almost forgot! Let's get crafting! First, go to inthegapkids.org and print off this template. Next, fold a colored piece of paper in half so it opens and closes like a door. Next, what's next again? Oh yeah! Then you'll need to cut out the cross and the verse from the template and make sure to ask an adult before you use scissors. Glue the verse on the inside like this. And then write your name on the blank. The cross goes right on the front. Glue that right there. Now it's time to decorate. Yay! Oh, this red is so beautiful. Blue. I wonder if I could have a pet whale. I could take it for a walk or go swimming. It needs a doorknob. I think I'll use sequins for that. Ew! 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 Perfect! All finished. I can put it on my dresser right next to my Bible. What does yours look like? You can take a picture of it and share it with us on Facebook at In the Gap Kids. I can't wait to see it. Ah! There's glue on my hand.
Thank you for joining us today on The Puppet Show.
If you'd like to see more videos just like this, be sure to zap that subscribe button.
We'll see you next time.
Bye!